which is also a nonprofit. So I wasn't even sure why we needed a zoning change, but my architect seemed to think that was needed. So.
All right. Any other questions, John?
No, I just,
right.
no questions.
I'll reserve comments
Oh, here comes my architect now.
until we're concluded.
If you would like to ask Kurt Platt anything, I'm sure you would.
Questions?
No, I've got no question.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Second, underneath new business, underneath the public hearing, we have Ken Day and Patricia Sharon, potential owners of 4427 Floor Avenue, are requesting a change in the zoning map of the city of Norwood from residential 1 and 2-family R2 to office.
Hello?
How you doing? You kind of heard what I had to say, or what?
So yeah, we are requesting a rezoning of the property at 4427 Floral Avenue, right on the corner of Floral and Smith, to be rezoned from residential to office. Now, right now, when you stand in the front lawn and look around the corners there, the houses across the street are already zoned office. The places on the corner, including the house over on the corner with Smith, is zoned office. So we feel like it's going to be a pretty low impact to have this zoned office as well. At least that's our hope. Now, the way we're looking at this is it's a win-win. You know, it's going to be a win for the city of Norwood in that we will have 3 people in there who will be paying income taxes in the city of Norwood. We'll have property taxes to the city of Norwood, and we'll also be creating a stable and responsible presence on that corner without changing the look of the place from a residence. So as far as most people coming by, as far as the stability of that house in the neighborhood, no real change. We will be updating the electrics. We will have it repainted inside and out, refinish the floors, all the things that we need to do to get it office ready. We will be gradually updating the landscaping. If there is any signage, it's going to be very minimal. We'll probably start off just with a little sign about yay big next to the door on the front wall. And that's probably as far as it'll go, but of course, if there is anything else, it will be appropriate to the code. Add anything there?
Sure. So we know that there was a postcard sent out asking all the neighbors, letting the neighbors know about the change, and we followed up with most of them.
All the ones we could find.
2 of them are churches, and 2 of them are vacant, and 3 of them are multifamilies, and 2 of them apartments, so we couldn't get a hold of them. But we were able to contact 8 of the residences that are, the people that live there own it, and we had a lot of support. Their concerns were the quality, what kind of practice we're going to have, and we explained that we do body work, massage. What I do is Asian body work, very akin to physical therapy. We had a lot of support with that. They just want to make sure that the quality of clients that were coming in were, you know, who they would want to be in their neighborhood. We had questions about how much parking was going to be used. Because we're upgrading the electric, that includes with upgrading the current situation with the garage. And the garages right now are just used as storage. They don't store their cars in it. We plan to upgrade the electric so we can have door openers and we'll park our cars in there, leaving the 3 spots that are currently being used to be occupied by our clients. So again, it's kind of a net zero impact on the neighborhood in that way. So
That's us?
Okay. This is pronounced Weizhong,
Oh, Qigong?
whatever.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Yeah, Qigong is basically just acupuncture without the needles. You know?
So it also says that you give up prescriptions?
No prescriptions. Absolutely
no
not.
prescriptions. You don't?
No.
But some of these places do.
no.
No?
It's really a form of body work. So I do shiatsu, which is hands-on body work. I help stretch the person, rotate the joints, manipulate the tissue. It's all done with clothing on. It's akin to similar to what you would find for physical therapy, but it just has a Japanese background. So it's
Yeah, the Chinese medical stuff that I do, there are places, acupuncturists and so on, who do herbal prescriptions, right? But that's the closest I can think of anything that would be connected with prescriptions.
Well, the resources I did, it says medical Zhejiang or whatever the heck it is. Therapy consists of treatment by a practitioner.
Yes.
What's the qualifications and training for the practitioner?
Okay, I have a 2-year apprenticeship with a Chinese doctor named Guo Jiang in Lombard, Illinois, and other training besides that, and I'm certified by the National Qigong Association.
Which is?
It's, the closest thing we have to
a governing body. It's
Yeah.
the national certification.
I'm also licensed by the State Medical Board in Ohio as a massage therapist.
The information I have is it says after the treatment, the client will be given whatever prescriptions to assist in their ongoing healing.
Yeah, some of, if you went to a regular Chinese doctor, they probably give you a little sack full of herbs, and you would go home and you were supposed to brew this up like a tea, and it makes your whole house smell like sewage for a week. And so I don't do that. So sometimes if a person really needs a tonic or something, I will give them a place that they can order the tinctures online, and they get the same herbs but in a tincture form, so they can just take a couple drops and it doesn't stink up the whole house. Okay, but this is basically, for instance, there's a couple tinctures that we take a lot, which is one is called Dispel Invasion and one is called Initial Defense, and these are just to help your own immune system so that you don't get sick as much. So it's that sort of thing.
And, well, I'm probably better off if I quit now. John, you might be on. The exercise can improve performance in any sport, improving golf.
Oh, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. So most of what we're suggesting to clients is better posture, awareness of alignment, when to apply moist heat, when to use ice, when to use a sports rub. Particularly since I'm a yoga teacher and I do yoga therapy, I'll give recommendations of, do these stretches to help release the pain in your low back, or, do these strengtheners so that your shoulders stay in alignment, things like that. But we don't think of them as prescriptions because that's something, they're just recommendations.
Would it be, can I speak, Joe?
Sure.
Would it be fair to, would it be a fair statement that saying it sounds like you are in part chiropractic and part massage? Does that be something?
Not chiropractic because we're not adjusting the joints.
Right, okay.
It's closer to massage.
It's like all of chiropractic without actually doing any chiropractic.
I got you.
You know how most chiropractors now do all these other things.
Yes.
We'll do all of those other things.
Most of my clients use my skill set as part of a team. They have a primary care physician, they might have a chiropractor, they might have a physical therapist. But because I can spend more one-on-one time with them, we can troubleshoot and I can specifically show them how to do the exercises and things like that. And we can, and because I do the massage and the physical manipulation, it keeps things going in between sessions with the chiropractor, where it works in conjunction and is in conjunction with it.
And actually, there is a kind of prescription, and that's with the Qigong. You're absolutely right. I don't think of it as a prescription. It's basically a set of exercises that are used to activate that person's body, get the muscles going, get the energy flowing through it, so that they don't have to come back so often.
The more they can do for themselves, the less they need us.
Well, 2 questions. Are you currently in business anywhere?
Oh, yes. We have been, I've been in business full-time since 1989, and we are currently, our practice is currently at 1981 Madison Road in O'Brienville. And we've been there for the past 4 years. And about 2 years ago, They bought the building?
A year ago October. So we've been there for 4 years. A year ago in October, our current location was sold, and so we have a new landlord. She has her business on the first floor, and the reason why we need to move is because she wants to expand her business also to the second floor where our offices are. Our previous location was at Full Spectrum Health Center in North Avondale on the corner of Dana and Reading Road, associated with Dr. Dottie Schaefer. We were there for 8 years, and similar situation, we rented the second floor. She had her practice on the first floor, and after her practice built up over 8 years, she wanted to expand her practice to the second floor. We are at a place where we're very steady, consistent people, and we'd love to have a space where we could be there for the next 15 to 20 years and own it so that we can control the environment a little bit better. We can,
And so somebody can't ask us to leave.
and that
after
was
3
no,
years.
creating stability for our clients.
Okay. No question. Other than you two, how many other employees are clerical, anything like that?
No, right now it's just the two of us.
Right.
And we plan on renting out one of the offices to a friend of ours that is a writer, and she needs a space to write. And we're hoping to rent out another office to another body worker, maybe a massage therapist or
Something like that,
Something
something
like
comparable.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, from there, do I hear a motion to close the public hearings on the old piece of business and the new piece of business?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Is there anybody wanting to talk? Is there anybody wanting to talk?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, thank you.
That gentleman's.
If there's anyone out there, I know Greg's over there, but if there's anyone else that would, on either one, would like, we'll say number one on the part of the old one, with behalf of 1926 Mills Avenue, if they'd like to speak in favor of it, please come forward. If there's anyone who'd like to speak in favor of the zone change at 1926 Mills Avenue, please come forward. All right, since we have no one coming forward, is there anyone who would like to speak against the zone change at 1926 Mills Avenue? Anyone would like to speak against the zone change at 1926 Mills Avenue, come forward. We have no one for or against, so we will close that one. Thank you, John. On the second one, do we have anyone who would like to speak for the zone change at 4427 Floral Avenue? Is there anyone who would like to speak for the zone change at 4427 Floral Avenue? Since we have no one come forward to speak for, does anyone want to speak against the zone change at 4427 Floral Avenue? Anybody would like to speak against the zone change at 4427 Floral Avenue? Since no one has come forward, we will now close the public hearing. Thank you, John. All right, would you please call the roll of closing the public hearing, please, Jerry?
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Chairman Gears.
Yes. All right, with that being done, we'll move into our regular meeting. If you would mind doing a roll call for our regular meeting.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Chairman Gears,
Here.
Mr. Brown.
Here.
All right, thank you, Jerry. And we do have one absent member, so Chris Brown. Do I hear, if everyone had a chance to read the minutes from our September 2nd, 2015 meeting?
Make a motion to be approved as if read.
Good, okay.
Second.
Second, any discussion on that? If not, would you call the roll for that, Jerry?
Chairman Gears,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Jerry. The first item of the old business was Kurt Plate of Plate Architect and Design, representing Mr. Jeff Emerson, the owner of 1926 Mills Avenue, Norwood, Ohio, 45212, identified by Hamilton County Auditor as Book 651, page 0050, partial 0043, is requesting a change of the Norwood zoning map from residential 1 and 2 family R2 to neighborhood business district, which is NBD. Any questions or discussions or concerns? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be all right in front on both of these. I'm recommending we deny the change for a number of reasons. Number one, once that change is made, we have no control what will go in there afterwards. And I thought, the presentation was vague at least, at the very least you could say. And the other issue is that what could go into those uses after we make the change. So I'm really leery of this one and the other one basically, but I think best for the neighborhood and for the city that we deny any change.
Any questions or comments? Mr. Brown.
When this was zoned residential 1 and 2 families, R2, the boys choir was able to operate legally, correct?
It was already there. Best of my knowledge, it was grandfathered in. It's like any other business or operation that is there, is a business or an operation is grandfathered in.
Okay.
And then once that would leave, after 6 months, it reverts back to the original or whatever the most current zone change, and that is what happened there.
Because they were gone for 6 months.
They were gone for quite a while, yes.
Yes.
So then it reverted back to R2, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I mean, I would say the same thing, basically as mayor. We did these changes, redid the zoning that a few years ago, just on the order that there wasn't spot zoning and that there was some control because there is no guarantee of how long either or will be there. And Jerry, if you don't mind, say if both businesses went out tomorrow, and I think here with Floor Avenue and that, they said they were, looking about renting out different rooms or whatever there. I mean, the concern is there is no control what can go in there unless it's restricted in our zoning.
Correct. For example, like if you change the one on Mills to neighborhood business, you could have a variety of different things to go in. You could have a veterinarian animal hospital go in. You could have pet daycare, a variety of different things. Even a clinic could go into that one. That's different than GBD, so a clinic could go in there.
Okay.
That's part of the problem. Number one, the couple of things I heard I'm really extremely cautious of. But it's once again, once those go out, then anything can go in, and then we're going to have a problem. I think when you do this, you're taking a chance, and we all know, or believe we know, what some of the possibilities could occur if these businesses the business is not a business, which I fail to understand that, but if that goes away, as vague as it was, then we don't know what could go in there, and I think it's taking a chance that I'm not willing to take.
All right. Let me just also add for those here that basically we don't make the final decision. We make recommendations to council. Council will set up public hearings and basically go through the same process as we are, but they're the ones who make the decision. So we can recommend yes, no, against, or no recommendation at all. So I just want you to know that we're not final word. We just do recommendations. Any other questions or comments? All on item number 1, 1926 Mills Avenue.
Are we able to speak, or is that?
It's already done. You were late.
What it is a Xavier frat house.
I understand. All right. Any other questions or comments? Any action you want to take on number 1, 1926 Mills Avenue?
I move that we reject the proposed change.
All right.
Second.
All right. Basically, we're going to write a letter to council not recommending a change, correct?
Right.
Okay. We call the roll on that.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Gears.
Yes. All right. Number 2, the new pieces of item is Ken Day and Patricia Sharon, potential owners of 4427 Floral Avenue, are requesting a change in the zoning map of the city of Norwood from residential 1 and 2 family, which is R2, to office. Questions, comments?
Basically, I feel the same way about this one. This is a little more straightforward in understanding what they want to do is a lot clearer than what the other proposal was. But once again, we're right into the same thing. And that's in a residential area. Now, it's true that if you look across the street, there are areas and blocks over there that are zoned office. But that block coming all the way down Floral, bounded by Smith, Ashland, and Washington, is all zoned in one thing. So the way I look at this, it would be changing the zoning for that one parcel of property. And there again, though, for the same reasons, I would recommend that we reject this proposal also.
Any other comments?
I just have a couple months ago, a gentleman on Smith Road came in.
Mm-hmm.
He has the accounting firm.
Mm-hmm.
That's in a residential area.
Right. Couple of commercial businesses, you got the dairy, and then you've got, some mixed uses down there. The line in this area, I think, is clear. Looking at the zoning map, it's clearly marked, with Floral, Washington, Ashland, and Smith, where there's no zoning in that area at all, other than the residential. That was the intent of that. If we had a way to protect ourselves on what would happen down the road, that would be one thing. But, for example, if they would leave or depart, not that anybody would want to put a veterinary clinic in there, but that could occur. Or somebody next door could say, well, you've got it here, and it can spread in that block. And I think that property down there, I don't think it would be. If I lived in that area, I would have deeply concerns on how far it would spread.
I would say, John, just to answer your question about Smith Road, if my memory serves me correct, that business has been in there for years, and has been grandfathered in there. All he wanted to do was increase the employees, if I remember, by 2 or 3, or use the second floor, because the first floor was already an existing business.
I think what he did, he had a home occupation, Joe, I think, and what he did is but you are correct, he had been there for many years.
Yeah, he didn't come in and ask for a zone change to put a business, and he wanted to, he had a record there of being there, and he was already there. He just wanted to increase.
Yeah, he'd probably been there, I would imagine, at least 5 years.
Every bit, I think.
Okay.
And like I said, in that area, it's so clear, looking at the zoning map, that some of those blocks, it's kind of broken up. This particular block, like I said, with Washington, Floral, Ashland, and Smith, it's clear. It's one solid block.
A residential.
And the concern is, okay, we do this, then somebody else says, well, now I want to put this in. And then how far do you go before the next thing you know, that block is totally transformed and you lose the residential character. And I know it's disappointing because it is a nice looking piece of property and it is a good area, but I'm one of those ones concerned that we have to be extremely careful of what we change the zoning for because of the potential change that could occur, which has happened.
And I would just say on Jerry, if you remember, I think if I heard you correctly, it even would allow a clinic down the road, or whatever kind of clinic.
Yes.
So a person 2 doors down could say, well, I want to sell, and we want to put a clinic in, and you have a resident right in the middle of it, and then we get into the thing, well, if you did it for this, why? So, as the mayor kind of says, where do we stop, or where does it stop? And that's why when we redid the zoning maps and that, we had that problems all over the place, and when it was redone a few years ago, that's why it was done, is I consider, they used to call it spot zoning. And that's basically what spot zoning is, well, we want to pick this one piece of property, and we want to put Tom, Dick, and Harry auto repair service there, and right in the middle of a residential area. Not that none of these businesses are auto services, don't get me wrong, but because that has been our concern, and has been our concern, to keep the residential area, more residential areas, and I would just comment, I think the comment while we're talking about a frat house, well, I think it would be more or less, it would be apartments, so that's allowed anyway on Mills Avenue, so. Any other questions or comments or concerns?
Nope.
All right. We want any recommendations on actions or recommendations to go to council?
I'll move, we send a letter to council with recommending a denial of the change in zoning.
All right. Second.
Who's second?
John did. All right. Any further discussion? If not, would you call the roll, Jerry?
Mayor Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Chairman Gears?
Yes. With that being done with our old and new business, we have no other communications or any other miscellaneous. Do I hear a motion to excuse our absent member?
Motion to excuse.
All right.
Second.
Very good. For a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second on that?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Aye?
All right.
All right. Thank you.